So you're a serious eBay seller, and you've probably hit that point where you're asking yourself, how do I open a second store without getting my first one shut down? It's a huge step, right? Well, today, we're going to cut through all the noise and give you the real playbook for growing your eBay empire the right way. Okay, let's dive right in by talking about a term that you see all over seller forums and YouTube videos. It's this idea that promises a fresh start, but, it often leads to a total dead end. You've probably seen this phrase, stealth account. It's one of the top things sellers search for when they're trying to expand or, let's be honest, when they've gotten into a bit of trouble. But what does it actually mean? What are people talking about here?
And here it is, the heart of the matter. A stealth account isn't about setting up a new, legitimate business venture. Nope, it's fundamentally about evasion. It's about hiding who you are from eBay, usually because a previous account got suspended or hit with some really tough restrictions. And that distinction, well, it's everything.
So now that we've kind of busted the myth, let's get real. What does eBay's official policy say about running more than one account? This is where the rulebook is actually super clear. Now, this is really interesting. eBay straight up says, yes, you can have more than one account. But the key here is that one little word, but. The reason you're opening that new account is what it all comes down to. Are you doing it to launch a cool new brand? Awesome, go for it. But are you doing it to get around a suspension? Whoa, that is the express lane to getting all of your accounts shut down for good.
So you really have two paths here. On one side, you've got the stealth approach, which is a strategy built on hiding, and let me tell you, that is always a shaky foundation. On the other side is the compliant approach, a strategy built on legitimate business growth. It's really the difference between a short-term gamble and building a long-term asset.
And don't make any mistake about it. eBay is incredibly good at connecting the dots. Trying to start fresh with a new identity after you've been suspended is pretty much the #1 reason sellers find their entire network of accounts suddenly restricted. The system is designed to spot this, looking at everything from unpaid fees to unresolved buyer claims.
So, if the stealth route is a dead end, what's the right way to move forward? Let's get into the compliant playbook, the official strategy for building a strong, scalable business that actually lasts.
Okay, here's your 6-step launch plan. I like to think of it in 3 phases. First, you've got strategy. You need a super clear business reason and real, verifiable info. No shortcuts. Second, identity. You have to create a totally distinct brand with a unique catalog of products. Don't just copy and paste your old store. And finally, execution. You launch conservatively, you focus on absolutely flawless service, and you are constantly, constantly monitoring your account health. That's how you build real trust with the platform.
Okay, lean in for this one, because this is one of the biggest and most common mistakes sellers make. You absolutely cannot list the exact same fixed price item across your different stores. eBay sees this as a clear violation of its duplicate listings policy, and it is a fast track to getting your accounts flagged. And speaking of rules, they're not set in stone. This number, 2, represents the 2 big updates coming to eBay's user agreement in 2025 alone. It's just a little reminder that this is not a set-it-and-forget-it kind of world. You have to stay current. It's not negotiable.
Okay, so we've got the strategy down. Now let's talk about the toolkit. Because managing multiple legitimate accounts brings its own set of challenges. This is all about working smarter and, most importantly, more securely, not sneakier.
This is where professional tools really come into play. Just imagine being able to manage all the logins for your different stores in completely separate, isolated environments. No more juggling a million browsers, or even worse, sharing passwords with your team, which is just a huge security risk. This whole approach is built around security and efficiency, and it keeps each of your business identities clean and distinct. Tools like the Sendwin cloud browser offer different levels depending on what you need. So whether you're a solo operator just starting that second store, or you're a big team managing multiple brands, there are solutions that can actually scale with you, keeping your whole operation streamlined and secure. Let's just hammer this point home one more time. The right tool is for productivity and security, period. It's all about making your legitimate operations safer and more efficient, not creating some kind of digital disguise to try and fool the platform.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've debunked the myth, we've laid out the strategy. Here is your final checklist to make sure you're totally ready to scale your eBay business the right way from day one.
First up, you got to know what you're up against. These are the most common landmines that sellers step on. Things like unpaid fees, slow shipping, those duplicate listings we talked about, these are the basics. Nailing these things consistently is your absolute best defense against getting restrictions.
And here it is, your action plan. Every single new store needs a clear purpose. It needs accurate info, its own unique brand, and its own unique products. You combine that with flawless operations and rock-solid security, and you've got the recipe for a sustainable, multi-store business on eBay. So in the end, it really all comes down to this one question. Are you building a business that's meant to last, or are you just taking a short-term gamble? Is your next move building a real asset, or is it a shortcut that puts everything you've already built at risk? The choice is yours.